Okay, how many of you have bought an article of clothing, taken it home, worn it, didn't like it, returned it? Or maybe you got it home and there was a defect with it and you returned it. Okay, now have you ever wondered what apparel brands do with the products that they get returned to them that they can't sell again, they're unsellable product? Well, unfortunately, there are not a lot of solutions. And because apparel brands make new things and sell new things, they really don't like when stuff comes back to them. And it's costing them a lot of money as well. The solutions available to apparel brands are limited, and they're sort of the same solutions we struggle with as individuals, as cities. And so my background has been in the apparel industry. I worked for over a decade inside of apparel brands, trying to find sustainability solutions for the supply chain. But what we realized is that there is a waste problem that the industry is sitting on and the industry is trying to deal with. And when we looked at that, it was like, okay, we could solve a waste problem, but wait a minute. What we really should be thinking about is how do we create a circular economy so these apparel brands are really motivated around change, so they're going to adopt best practices and new ideas of thinking. Luckily, the Ellen MacArthur Foundation, who we'll hear from later today, put together an amazing framework, which you'll see behind me on the slide, which really gets companies and individuals to think differently about how are we going to move materials through an economy in the most efficient way. So materials, using them at their highest value, really thinking through how the product can derive profits without relying on resources. And so that inspired to create the Renewal Workshop. So the Renewal Workshop is my company, and we partner directly with the apparel brands to help enable them on a journey towards a circular economy. We basically show up at their distribution centers and say, we'll take your problem. You don't have to change the way you're doing business yet, but today we're gonna help take the problem away from you. We take all of that unsellable inventory into our factory, which is just located outside of Portland, Oregon, and we're gonna process it to determine the highest value that we can get out of it. What we found is about 60, up to, in some brands, 90% of the product that they called waste could be resold again, creating a new sales channel for these companies. So they could start to operate a little bit more like a car company where you get a new product or a pre-owned certified one. Then there's products left over that are too damaged and can't be resold again, which go perfectly into a company like Stacy's. Throughout the process, we're capturing data on the products so that we can help them start to think differently about how to design differently, how to develop product differently. If we determine that the product can be resold again, it's of a good quality, we clean everything using a waterless cleaning technology, which uses liquid CO2. And then we repair things if they need them, and then we co-brand products. So there's a label here. This is still the original brand's labeling is on the product, but we co-label as a seal of certification. And we've got 11 companies who've joined us already to say, yeah, we're interested in doing business differently. We're interested in decoupling profits from resource use. And because of their partnership and the way they're thinking, we've been able to start tracking data to show why the circular economy is an opportunity. We've reduced over 30,000 pounds of textile waste from landfill, and we've been able to track and show, hey, you were able to make these environmental savings around water, around carbon and toxicity by selling your product again. And this helps that enabling, that change of business processes that we see that the industry needs to have happen. So we can start with renewing products, show there's a new business model, get them to think differently, get more data back into the hands of designers to think differently. And then we've also got this product that's too damaged, and we can start preparing that product for recyclers like Evernew, get it prepared the right way so that it's an efficient process of recycling, and then we can trace that product back to the brands so the brands could actually start to create new product out of their old waste. So I want to thank Metro Vancouver for putting this together and having this discussion around textiles and waste. Thank you.